Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu to some of you, and peace out to the rest of you. This is Black Horse signing Black in again. Asking you to hit that share button first and then make your decision about the like and the subscribe buttons later, because the message is more important than the messenger. And if it wasn't, I would not record it. You have every right to look at the title and wonder, what the F is Blackheart talking about this time? And what did this nigga find to connect SheRaSeven and Ayesha Curry? At the end of the day, it comes down to this. Ayesha Curry has in fact shown what is wrong with many Western women in general, black and white. Ayesha Curry said what she said well over a month ago, 2 months ago. Actually, about 3 months ago. And I recorded something about it, and that, to this day, that is my most viewed video. Of all the videos I've got up, that one has been viewed the most. 17,000 last time I checked. That tells me something. 17,000 videos, y'all. Stop and think about that for a second. I've got videos, ironically, of multiple things regarding multiple topics. But when I say something about a celebrity that pretty much dissed her husband, even if she didn't hate him, she dissed her husband. And when I addressed Stephen Curry directly in the video right after that, entitled IBMOR to Stephen Curry, this might help, that one got 222 views. But when I addressed Ayesha Curry, that one got 18,000 views. Yeah, that one got 18,000 views. And the thumbnail, she's standing in front of a Capital One sign, and she's posing by herself. And that got 18 grand, more than any other video I've ever put up. As a matter of fact, if you add up the other videos together, I don't think they come out to 18,000. If you add all the views of all the other ones. Now, one of the things that this does is that it shows, because I'm reaching out to a black audience. Ain't a whole bunch of non-black folk of any nationality listening to my channel. They exist. I know a few of them. I know about a few of them, but they're rare. But what this means is that since most of my audience is black and most of them are African American or they're from another Anglophone nation, what I'm telling you is that we are a people obsessed with celebrities. And these celebrities don't live like we do. However, sometimes their problems become broadcasted and easy for us to see. And one example is going to be the Currys. What did she say? And she said it out in public. How has she been living? How has she been trying to brand herself separately from her husband? And how she resents the fact that, for the most part, her brand is based on her husband's basketball skills. Yet and still, this man is really into her. You could tell, because when one of the reporters interviewed him about his wife's failing rap career, which I'm not blaming her for in the first place, as soon as the man played some of her raps about her cooking, Stephen recited the lyrics right along. This man had memorized the lyrics while he was also practicing basketball. This means he's into his wife. She ain't into him. She sat up and said that she wants others to pay more attention to her. She wants more male attention from other guys. And this man is into her to the point that he memorizes her rap lyrics, if he didn't write them himself. Then I discovered SheRaSeven because somebody in another video, and I wish I could remember who, a white MGTOW man, or Red Pillar, mentioned SheRaSeven in one of his videos, and he was talking about certain things about her channel. And I'm going to go ahead and explain some of what I remember him saying about what she said. And even as I say this, just the titles alone are going to tell you everything. She wrote a book entitled I Bring Nothing to the Table. That's a book that she wrote. Her video a week ago got 22,000 views. And that video is MGTOW, Mediocre Guys to Optimum Women. And she's pretty much trying to deride MGTOW for that reason. Now, I don't care about you deriding MGTOW as long as you're talking about them white guys. That's up to them. Maybe you're right, maybe wrong. They'll tell you if you're right or wrong. And this guy stepped up and said, no, you're wrong. So it's not really my business. I'm IBMOR. I mean, when I tell you I'm black first, even though I'm black male first, I am black first. Because right after being pro-black men, I'm pro-black women. I'm hard on black women because I'm actually on their side in the long term, not the short term. And unfortunately, our women have been infantilized. To a certain extent, black men have too. But black men who want to be about something have to outgrow that, whereas black women don't necessarily have to outgrow this infantilization with which they're programmed if they want to have resources. I didn't say be productive. I said have resources. It's up to them. So she wants to deride MGTOW as mediocre guys to optimum women, pretty much saying that guys are saying if we can't be average and get the best looking women, then we're out. Well, actually, I wouldn't give a rat's behind, because in many societies, the average man has to still be able to compete with the so-called optimum woman. Now, right after she said that, she recorded I Bring Nothing to the Table as a video. This is about her book. Or it's either a book she wrote or it's her favorite book. Then she says how to use fiction. Now, before that point, she said how to use fiction to get what you want from a man. Now, that's almost an hour and a half video. I don't have to sit up here and tell you what was said in it, because the title alone tells you something. The title alone, juxtaposed with the other titles, tells you she's not recording these titles sarcastically. She means these titles. I bring nothing to the table. Mediocre guys are trying to get optimum women. How do you use fiction to get what you want from a man? The Dalai Lama said to level up, ladies. No, we didn't. Too proud to beg and too tired of work. Your receiving is your giving, ladies. Let's talk business, how to get paid. That actually could have been constructive. Actually could have been. But then she says, men with nothing to offer is like a maxed out credit card. Well, see, that's the problem. You see, the maxed out credit card means that it's maxed out because you already got everything out of it. That's what she's not talking about. She says if he can't invest in your cookies, he can't have any. Now, she's not talking about the cookies that you bake. That's not it. She also says, never offer to pay or pay back. You are a lady. Then she recorded another video, never offer to pay part 2. She recorded these a month ago. Now, she said never offer to pay or pay back. Do you understand what she's saying to you? She's saying that if you borrow, don't hand it back. Now, she actually did say in that video, don't accept it if he's asking you to pay it back. But I'm going somewhere with this. All right. Rumors about you, how to deal. So she's sitting up saying that you got to be, ladies, on some middle school shit, worried about what other people are saying about you. And to a certain extent, it can help and harm you. That's truth. But she's pretty much saying how you deal with rumors. That sounds like some old middle school stuff. Level up on a budget. What do you mean on a budget? Level up on a budget and how to deal with rumors about you. That's another video. She's talking twice about rumors. Wait, what? She's got another one. His bag is your bag. Now, a lot of men understand this, but nonetheless, she's pretty much telling women his bag is your bag. Hold on. That's not it. She says, get attention by being extra feminine. However, I admit I haven't seen that video. She does say, be someone he has never experienced before. She could be telling women anything in that one. It could be good, it could be bad. She says a woman's presence is help, not her money. And I actually agree with her, but I don't think that I agree with her for the same reasons that she is saying it. There's more. The last thing she says, the last thing I'm going to mention to you. Last thing I'm going to mention to you is that she says, get this. She says Ayesha Curry was not wrong. That's what she tells you. Ayesha Curry was not wrong to seek attention from men. That doesn't go along with femininity. You understand? She says a woman's presence is help, not her money. And granted, I do believe that men should avoid using a woman's money. I do believe that. However, another thing that has to be understood is that if women are going to talk about the right to work and the right to be out there and the right to get all of these things, if she's going to be talking about this stuff, then she can't sit up here and then tell women about how to get the man's money. Them two are mutually exclusive. Which one are you on? Hypergamy or feminism? Which one is it going to be? She's pretty much telling you this, gentlemen. And that's why I'm telling you all these titles together. She's saying to you, ladies, you take and you do not give. She's saying to you, men, you give and you do not take. One of the things she says is a woman's looks is equal to a man's net worth. That might very well be true. But then, get this. 3 months ago, she says, if rich boyfriend cheats, marry him. I haven't even seen that video. The point is, what I do know is that she doesn't make these videos with sarcastic titles. And I'm going to tell you how you know. If you got any doubts, now you know. Because what I'm about to tell you next is Cardi B drugs and robs men. Okay, as if to say, so damn what? She's not ever going to excuse a man robbing and drugging and robbing a woman at all. She wouldn't excuse a man drugging a woman just to get her to fuck the shuck up and he never harms her. She would never excuse that. If a woman's nagging the hell out of me at a bar and I slip some in her drink and I don't bother her, I just slip some in her drink, she falls asleep, I carry her to the couch in the club on camera, walk away from her, don't bother her, I tell somebody she's knocked out, I tell the security she's knocked out, she may need a little help getting out of here, and I never bother her, I just drug her so she fucks the shuck up, and she wouldn't even say he didn't harm her, he just put her to sleep. She would never say that. She has another video, an hour and a half long, should you test your man? Do I have to tell you what her answer at the end of that is going to be? No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Not at all. If you do watch her, and I've watched videos of hers before, if you watch her, you will understand that what she generally says is, men, you pay. Women, you take. And she doesn't necessarily tell women what to do in exchange, except she does say be feminine. However, she's talking about selling the femininity. She's not talking about being feminine because you're a woman and that's the right thing to do. Men already understand that you can help a woman, you can use your money to help a woman be more feminine. That is true. You can help a woman by applying your money in the right place. But she's pretty much saying there ain't no need to be feminine if he ain't rich. And her book is, I Bring Nothing to the Table. Ayesha Curry brings nothing to the table. However, she's probably a good mom to the kids, and I don't know how she treats him in private, and we were not supposed to know this, but I do know that there's a level of respect for her husband she doesn't have because she sat there in front of his mother, next to his mother, in the chair next to his mother's chair, and said what she said that we all saw. And SheRaSeven sitting up here pretty much telling women, ain't nothing you do wrong. Only thing you've ever done that's wrong is be ugly and be with a man that ain't rich. Oh, and you don't get enough out of the men you're with, or you give too much to the men you're with. Everything she says has to do with women not taking enough and men not giving enough, regardless of what the men have, and regardless of the fact that black men are systematically impoverished in not only the United States, but in Western countries, however, especially in the U.S. and Australia. Oh yeah, this ain't no joke. And in the U.K. She doesn't mention any of this stuff. Not at all. What's happening is this. Right now, black men and black women are both being told to not care about each other's trauma. And we both suffer trauma, but we're being told not to care about each other's trauma. I'm going to tell you the trouble that causes, though. And here's where it gets bad. As we're both being told not to care about each other's trauma, guess who is finding this to be more successful? Guess who's allowing this to be more successful? It's black women. It is easier to convince black women to care nothing about black male trauma than it is to convince black men to care nothing about the trauma through which black females go. See, I care about what happened to black women. That's why if I have to leave African American women, I'm still not going for that cave bitch. That's why. I'm not even going for the ones who are individually exceptions to the rule that they're racist. Not because of those exceptions individually, but because of their families. I'm not dealing with racist family members. I'm not contributing to their society even in that indirect fashion. If I'm broke or if I become a millionaire, I don't want one of them. Until the day that their society is as broke as we've been and as victimized as we've been, and we've profited off of them, and we have the luxuries of life and not the burdens to bear, and at their expense, they haven't begun to pay for what they've done. And the reason I still don't look at these generations as being much better morally is because, for one, look how long this oppression lasted in its worst form, its most naked form, before they even fought a war after which they weren't willing to admit they fought over it. And because of the fact that even today's specimens don't want to sit up and say, you know what? You've earned reparations, and there's nothing that we earn that we have. Pretty much we got to hand it all to you and we do all the work. They ain't willing to admit this. You got a few individuals that are, and their families are going to turn around and fight with you. But for the most part, what do they tell you? Stop complaining. You're going to make me use the N-word out of anger, and I'm not a racist. Get over it. It was so long ago. The Irish were slaves too. Now see, when we black men and women have to face the trauma we've been through, I do care what sisters go through. I'm just not going to accept it as an excuse to pick the worst of the men in the community with whom to have your babies, let alone turn around later and bring those babies to the men of the community you did not want, but now you want to raise the babies. Now, I'm not going to accept that trauma as an excuse for that, but I do care about the trauma you've gone through. But sisters don't give a rat's behind about trauma brothers go through, for the most part. And there are sisters that do, but right now, in large part, you're not getting so-called woke or hotep black men to not care about black women's trauma. You can get woke and hotep black women to not care about black men's trauma. This is where the difference lies. And I can tell you this, as a black man, I feel traumatized on behalf, I can't say traumatized, but I do feel I relive certain trauma because I feel it on behalf of Stephen Curry. I feel it on behalf of whoever has to deal with not only SheRaSeven, and as far as I know, she ain't got no man, maybe she does, but even those who have to deal with the women who think she knows what the F she's talking about. Take, but don't give. Be feminine. But he has to be successful even by white standards. He's got to be successful. In a racist, white supremacist nation, are you kidding me? That's not realistic. You're just going to have to come out and say it. You're for sale, bought and sold. Nothing else. You are a possession and an item. He can buy you, use you, and discard you. Why? Because you don't denounce feminism at all. You don't denounce women's lib at all. You don't give up any women's rights, and you do not call for the extra responsibility that comes with the increase in your rights. None of these things. You simply say women take more, give less, if you give anything at all. Men, you give more, and if you take anything at all, you take a hell of a lot less. She's simply sitting up here and making things a worse deal for men. That's it. And then she has the nerve to sit up and say Ayesha Curry ain't wrong. Bitch, where do you stop? Where does your morality kick in and your sense of justice kick in? It doesn't. Until she is living large at a man's expense and doing nothing but offering a stretched out birth canal that some other dudes done tapped and bunker busted. Because one of the things she doesn't say is, you know what? Pick a good man young, but be a virgin when you pick him. She doesn't even say that much. No, she doesn't say anything like, you can't bring one man's kids to another man and say we're a package deal. She doesn't explain this. Who does explain this? Nola Girl 504. Now, I don't like her political conservatism at all. Absolutely not. No. You owe us reparations, goddammit. Don't tell us to get over it. You get over it when we take everything back. If we got to put a sawed off to your head and blow your brains out to get that money, get over it. If your kids are going to sit up and say, well, we're not owed any reparations, and someone puts a gun to their head to get the reparations, get the F over it. It's war. You don't cry because somebody beat you in a battle. But when it comes down to the moral conservatism, she's absolutely right. She's telling women, stop sending out mixed messages to men. Stop being a hoe with these particular guys over here. And then with the majority of other men, you want to turn around and act like you're virtuous and righteous just to withhold what you already gave away for free to try to get him to pay more on behalf of the guys to whom you already gave it away for free. You're like a candy store giving out candy to the worst guys who show you the least respect and steal the most. And then when the honest, righteous people go in and they're ready to buy something, you raise the price on them. Wait a minute, the sticker says this much. And you've advertised on the commercials that the prices are fair. Yeah, but see, if you're really a good person, you'll pay this price. Yeah, but that's not even a sticker price. You just charging me more at the counter. But wait a minute, look over there. They're taking your candy. Okay, hold up. So he's showing you this candy that he's walking out with for free. Yeah, okay, I got this candy. But he's got more in his pockets you didn't see him put in the pockets. He's actually stealing some of it. He's showing you I'm taking this for free and you nodding your head and he's stealing more than that. So am I paying more so that they can get it for free? Yes. Okay. No, never mind. She's telling these women that's the reason these men aren't coming to your quote-unquote store. And when I'm not comparing the candy to only the gender or only the sex, I'm comparing everything in the store that's valuable to everything that a woman can valuably do for and with a man. All the ways that women could actually enrich a man's life, which include sex. They're turning around and giving freely and cheaply to a few guys and then trying to convince the rest of the men to pay above the sticker price. Not even the full price, but above the sticker price. Well, this milk jug has already been opened and the seal is broken. Should I trust it? Yes, and as a matter of fact, that's 1.5 times the sticker price. Why is that? Well, times are hard, that's all. It costs me more to get it. No, that's not why. Somebody's been drinking out this milk jug. And then they put it back into they put it back on the shelf. Somebody took a swig out of this and they didn't pay for it. And you charging me more. That's what it's like. And Nola Girl 504 will sit up and tell these women that, but you got women from our side of the color line like SheRaSeven sitting up here and saying, look, you take and you do not give. He gives and he does not take. And when whatever you do give, you give on your terms and you give less and you give them a hard deal to accept. And nothing better than that. You give them little and you demand a lot. And as a matter of fact, girl, look, if you get hot and bothered under the collar, you go over there and get one of these guys and give it to them for free that ain't doing nothing for you. But this man is going to do something for you. What you do is you give him less and you take more. How could you be so stupid and not do this already, girl? Look, she's one of them type women. But the worst thing I think she said was when she said Ayesha Curry was not wrong for seeking attention from men. Bitch, she's married. He's not seeking attention from other women. And if he was, somebody would have said something about it already, because there are NBA players who hate him for various reasons. Not only his skill set, but his skill set coupled with his phenotype. He doesn't look like he can play basketball. Unless you stand next to him in person and you notice his height, you see him on camera and you think he can't play basketball, and he's up here shooting from distances and dominating and dunking on brothers sometimes, but usually shooting from distances. Ain't even got to go all the way down the court to fire the pill and get it through the net and score points for his team. You got other NBA players that were trained to dominate up close and push through the defenses in order to dunk and put their nuts in niggas' faces close to their teeth, and they're looking at him playing smart and winning because he's practiced making long distance shots and gotten good at it, and they're upset about this. You got dudes in there who hate him even on his own team. If he was trying to get attention from other women, they would have seen it and they would have told her and the press. Yet and still, the evidence is that he's not. And what are you seeing? What are you saying? Oh, his wife wasn't wrong for seeking attention from other men. If he was trying to seek attention from other women and he was that blatantly disrespectful about it, you would have had something to say. But you also said, if your rich boyfriend cheats, marry him. Are you effing kidding me? Before I even get into your videos and further embarrass you, I don't even need to address you anymore. Let me address those of you that listen to her and those of you who don't. You need to understand that this is a woman that's going to take the community down by herself. She's part of the reason that we can't fix the community, and that's why there's a SYSBM element of IBMOR. Introspective black men on reform has led to other men going SYSBM, save yourselves, black men, and they're like, we can't fix it. There's nothing we could do. We cannot fix it. She's driving a very shallow narcissistic bargain. I don't have to be a virgin. I don't even have to be chaste. It's all about the money and the lifestyle and nothing else. Nope, that's not the way it is. I want women, especially, I don't care if the white women don't get this. Although they do, I don't care if they don't get it. But sisters, I want you to understand something, and I'm not saying this because it suits me selfishly. I'm too old to benefit sexually from this. Too far gone. But I want you to understand something, just for the sake of you not driving away men. When you are married, you have your financial needs and you've got your sexual needs. Actually, you have your financial needs, which are few. Then you have your financial wants, which are many. And then you've got your sexual needs. If you don't prioritize your needs, your sexual, physical needs over your financial wants and wishes, and his sexual needs over your financial wants and wishes, you're going to drive your man away, and that's wrong. God himself has already, in the way that he has designed both men and women, he has prioritized the sexual needs of both over the financial wishes of either one. He made resources limited, hard to get to. That's it. The economy's built that way. You find a pile of gold one day, and other people know that it's there, the price of gold goes down. That's it. If a new source of gold is found, gold dips. If a new source of oil is found, the price of oil dips. That's it. That's the way it goes. The demand is pretty much there. If the supply goes up, the price goes down. God built it that way already, but he also put in the constant sexual needs of both genders. Ladies, if you do not prioritize your sexual needs and your husband's sexual needs over your financial wish list, then you're pretty much trying to go against the way you and he were designed. You're going to drive not only your husband to cheat, more than likely, you're going to wind up driving yourself to cheat. And who you going to cheat with? Matter of fact, some of you prioritize this even when your husband has plenty. And what do you do then? You find that he's got plenty, but he doesn't have a lot of time. Your needs grip you, and you turn around and give it away for free to somebody that doesn't do anything for you, doesn't do for you what your husband is doing. That's the gist of it. Your husband's supposed to sit up there and keep you in a certain lifestyle, but when that demands a lot of his time, you get frustrated, get mad. You need someone to blow your back out instead of just letting him come home when he finally does come home and saying, hey, you know what, how about a quickie? You've been working hard and I need some too. Instead of doing that, you get mad because you can't tolerate that, so you call some other dude, ain't doing nothing for you. What do y'all do? Have a quickie. If you listen to someone like SheRaSeven, she's going to have you doing exactly this, and she's going to mess you up because you're stupid enough to listen to somebody like her. Do you really think for 1 second that what she's going to tell you is going to help you? Do you really think that we don't know what this message is? That we don't know about these women that some of y'all are listening to? You think we don't know they exist and what they're telling you? These messages that these ladies are giving you are not going to help you get more unless he has more already. Now, it may help you get according to what he's got, but it's not going to help him all of a sudden just have more so he can hand it to you because you want it. It's not the way that works. What it's going to do is going to convince even the men who do have this much to say, okay, well, I don't mind sharing, but these bitches are for sale. And I'm not sharing nothing with a prostitute, but maybe some money and some dick. If it's all about the money, I could pay someone to let me hit that and not bother me about it later on. That's what you're dealing with now. I don't recommend it for more reasons, but that's what you're up against. That's what you're dealing with. And what you don't realize is you're actually helping prostitution. Because if it's all going to come down to prostitution, men are going to pick the simpler type of prostitution and deal with less headaches because they have to. Now, if it's not all going to be prostitution, then you're going to have some guys who will say, okay, then we're not going that route because we don't have to. But if you're going to make it all prostitution, like what SheRaSeven's pretty much pointing you in the direction of doing, and you're going to have dudes that say, if it's going to be prostitution, then why don't I take the easier route? Less headache for me, because I already got to work hard to get what I got. That's complicated. You're not going to get what you're looking for. You're going to teach men to walk the F away from you. And that's already what's happening. You're underestimating the spread of SYSBM. You're underestimating the younger men that are coming up. You're underestimating them because what they're doing is they're looking and they're saying, well, this is how you get money. And now this is how you keep money. You stay away from these broads. You either keep it casual or you go complete monk. These young dudes understand it. You got dudes now they're probably about 19 or 20, but they've understood female nature, as they call it, since they were 14 and 15. You got guys now who've been up on red pill game and red pill knowledge from the early 2010s, 2010, 2011, 2012, and it's 2019. So you got guys who don't have the experience of ever having been through puberty without red pill knowledge also. They don't have a memory of one without the other. And they don't trust you already. So if you listen to women like SheRaSeven, you're going to mess around and confirm what these dudes have already been told about you. And they're going to walk the F off. And they're going to say, well, at the end of the day, no matter how bad a deal it is with all women, Western women are the worst deal out here. So let me scratch that off the list right off the bat. Whether they go MGTOW monk, or they just go pump and dump, or if they go outside of the West and get those women. Whatever the case is, they're going to write your butt off. Because you're a Western woman with these feminist ideas and you still hypergamous. Now, them two mutually exclusive right there. Acting like being a woman of no headaches and being beautiful are mutually exclusive when they're really not. Feminism and hypergamy are mutually exclusive by nature, by definition. You ain't gonna have both of them. But then you gonna turn around and act like your looks give you the right to make a good attitude mutually exclusive. Because you look good, you ain't gotta act it. That's not true. And that's gonna take these men and drive them the F off. And they're gonna go to Thailand. Whether they're looking for a prostitute, a girlfriend, or a wife, they're going to go to these areas. They're going to go to Cambodia. Because what I want you ladies to understand, when a man is looking for a wife, or a girlfriend or a prostitute, they go to the same places. It doesn't stop them. Because if men want to marry, they can marry. If they want a girlfriend, they can have a girlfriend. And if they just want to pay for it and be done with all headaches and commitments afterwards, they could do that too. I only recommend the marriage, but the point is, if I only sit up here and tell men about marriage and I say no prostituting, no tricking, and no dating outside of them, if I tell them that, they still gonna do the same thing. They're gonna go to get married to certain areas, and ain't none of them Western countries. Western countries don't produce wives, and that's the reason why. They produce you. And you're not wife material for the most part. Those of you who are, you are, because you're already snatched up and you're probably not even listening to this. You don't even know I exist, chances are. And if you're one of the few women that are the few rare women that are wife material, and somehow you've heard of me and you know I exist, and you're actually happy with your husband, you're not going to tell the other women that are happy with their husbands, because there's no reason to. But you might know some ratchets that put you on to me, or you happen to stumble upon me and you know some of them that can learn from this. Femininity is great, but it's not necessarily something you make just for sale. Even though men know that there are ways to use their resources to help you keep your femininity and to reward your femininity, it's not something you turn around and just sell only to the highest bidder. No, because very few men are the highest bidders. The highest bidders are a very small minority of men. Most men in the world, in any country, let alone the world, don't make a whole lot. Your femininity is not only more common than men's money, it is a necessity whether or not he has a lot of money. That's real. So yes, you can use your femininity to reward men of character, men of a work ethic, and men who know how to treat you. But you can't turn around and withhold your femininity only for the wealthiest men, because then it's not femininity. It never has been. That just makes you a feminine prostitute. And there's already a thin line between marriage and prostitution as it is. If you want to make that line even thinner, try to sell your femininity to the highest bidder. And you're going to find that there are women that are much more feminine than you who weren't doing that. They weren't playing that game, and they will still beat you at it. Now imagine somebody walking at a pace that's medium to them, and they're still outrunning you, and they don't even know they're in a race. And they beat you every time. That's what this is going to be like. The women that don't sell their femininity to the highest bidder in other nations will still beat you. And you're going to be sitting up here trying to come up with some psychological arguments and reasons why black men ain't nothing and how they just can't compete and can't hang and can't be men. And that's what's going to wind up happening to you. Anyway, I hope that this has been a benefit. Blackheart signing Blackout. Assalamu alaikum.